Good afternoon.
If you want commentary, then you push that button.
There.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Very good. Good afternoon here. We are about 30 seconds into the second period. Warriors are up 3-1 versus the Flyers. We have a quick break in the game here for an injured Flyer here right in front of our position up against the boards. It looks like probably a lower body injury here. There's not a lot of getting medical attention. And again, when a kid can get up and get off ice with power, that's always a good sign. It's something relatively minor. But again, second period, 30 seconds into the second period, Warriors up 3-1 over the Flyers. We had some mechanical damage to some of our recording equipment, such as an iPad. That was just it's broken. Anyway, so we are improvising here on an iPhone using the same app. I'm going to try to bring you the rest of the game here. Right, we're doing this. I want Josh or... Man, it is an afternoon for technology issues here. I just accidentally nicked the screen with my phone, and it sucked me out of the main broadcast screen. Anyway, we're still 6 minutes and 50 seconds left in the second period. 4-1 Warriors. Luke Webster. Number 13 White, Thomas here streaks up the middle through the neutral zone, gains the zone. He's being harassed by Thomas McGrady in the corner, swings it around behind the net. Puck battle there behind the net. Squirts out to the left corner and up the boards. The Warriors unable to clear the puck. But what we are doing until then was keeping the puck to the perimeter where they couldn't get any really decent scoring chances, and now the Warriors are just sort of playing chase keep away here. A stretch pass out through the neutral zone, almost hit Bednarchik. Not quite, but we keep it on this side of the ice, gain the zone. Again, the Flyers just aren't going to give up that easy. Whistle blown. Oh, we've got an injured Warrior here. It looks like Liam Stewart. Doesn't appear to be seriously injured, just a little shaken up on the play. Or maybe a hand or wrist injury. Number 90 for the Warriors, Liam Stewart, gets back to the bench under his own power again. Looks like maybe a hand or wrist type of an injury. All right, back to the game. Neutral zone face-off. Controlled by Kono to Bednarchik, back to Kono. Oh, just on the verge of gaining the zone. It was disrupted by number 15, Holmberg of the Flyers. Stretch pass over the shoulder. He got the zone. All right, all three forwards are there. Excellent. Elliot Clark able to maintain the zone. Pass intercepted. Number 59, White, streaking into the right side. Tries as it passed through the slot area. There was no one there that time, but there's a white player now. Could have been a high danger catch. Soren Moen brings it out. Up the boards to Elvis Schroeder. Almost a textbook breakout there. You want to get a wing up against the board and have your defense pass it up to them to advance it. Again, the Flyers are getting these breaks in the sense that they're getting these pucks through the slot and through the crease area. They're just not able to connect. But boy, that is sure high risk for us. The Magic just kind of fighting up towards the blue line. And here come the Flyers sticking up the right side. Ooh, shot in. Brian Wayne able to glove it down, but it bounced out. Luckily, no rebound. Here we go. Sebastian Pono. He is on a streak. Cuts over and scores. Sebastian Pono hits it 5-1. Warriors over the Flyers. 3 minutes, 50 seconds left in the second period. Again, Warriors 5, Flyers 1. Vieira is able to control the face-off, but it's quickly regained here by the Flyers. Puck's in the far corner here in our defensive zone. It's just been kind of ping-ponging around back there between players. Now we advance it up. Right side boards, hits Vieira. Crossing through the neutral zone, gains the zone, one to beat. Drags it past one, is taken down. And we might see a hooking or a tripping penalty. I don't think he had enough separation to justify a penalty shot as he got a clean look at the net, but he did get taken down. So the Warriors will go in on a power play. All right, 5-on-4 hockey here. Face-off down in the offensive zone. Face-off won cleanly, cycled back to the goal, to the defender, Emerson Haggard. Elijah Dotson advances the puck to the middle, to the high slot. Vieira's still there. Puck is deflected down to the corner. Got two Warriors in. Ooh, Dotson. A sneaky little shot. Somehow found its way to the net, but did not get by the goalie. Good save by Flyers goalie. All right. Back here for another offensive face-off for the Warriors in the near circle. Bezorkor wins the face-off cleanly. Stewart cycles it back to the point. Flapper by Emerson Haggard. Again, those shots look real juicy, but they're kind of low percentage. But it's the right idea. Paxton over, tries to drag it here by some players. Oh, through the crease, Dotson. Or I'm sorry, that's Webster. Just kind of fanned on it. Keeps the zone. Bezorkor over to Stewart. Chips it back to Haggard here. Oh, up to Webster. And it's in. Score, Warriors. Jack Webster sitting undisturbed right in front of their crease. Absolutely low pressure by the Flyer defense on that play. Let us basically control that real estate right in front of the goalie, and we took advantage of it. Good heads-up play. Face-off one here back to McGrady, who advances it up the left boards, back to Webster. Resort 4 can't corral it in. Number 59 White through the neutral zone, gains the board in our zone. And shot. That was a kind of a zero angle. Didn't have much of a chance of being a realistic scoring chance. Again, White somehow manages to tag up there as that puck kind of tick-tocked around right at the blue line. Liam Stewart has possession of it back in our corner, advances it up, pass sort of intercepted by the Flyers player. Back behind the net, up the right side boards. Flyers maintain, puck finds Brian Wayne, easy steer away. Again, mishandle the puck here. We have got Jack Webster almost on a breakaway. Oh, and he's pushed down. Minor penalty assessed against number 28, Boyce of the Flyers. 56 seconds left in the second period, minute 30 penalty. 5-on-4 hockey. All right, offensive face-off for the Warriors. Won by the Flyers. Wegeson brings it up, out of the zone. Kono brings it back in. Warriors are in possession of the offensive zone. Shot on net and trickles by the goalie's glove side. Advanced up the board. Clark keeps it in for the Warriors. Oh, that long reach of Kono just couldn't quite get that puck, and now the Flyers have possession. Lazily move it up through the neutral zone, up the right side. Excellent heads-up play. I believe that's Elvis Schroeder in the right place with a stick on the ice. Intercepted a centering pass. Puck bouncing around there. Tommy McGrady passes it, which is intercepted. And that is the end of the second period. Warriors 6, Flyers 1.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Oh my God. You agree.
We're getting ready to start the third period. 13 minutes on the clock is the period length for this tournament. Warriors 6, Flyers 1. 34 seconds left on the Warriors power play. Schroeder right wing, Bednarczyk center, and Sebastian Kono left side. Our defensive pairing, Soren Moen left defense and Emerson Haggard right D. And we're getting ready to drop the puck. Face-off batted ahead by Bednarczyk, back to Soren Moen. Tries to advance it. Bouncing around the neutral zone, Sebastian Kono. Tries to get it up the left side boards. Sort of fumbled by both players a little bit. Flyers trying to mount a comeback here. They got a single winger here trying to streak through the middle. Not going to work very well there. Puck all the way back to the Flyers' defensive zone. Go left to right here, try to get something, but broken up by the Warriors. Sebastian Kono again trying to come in from that left side. Looks like there are people available if we can take advantage of it. Elvis Schroeder Right place, right time. Good save. Didn't go in. We will now have a face-off in the offensive zone. Haggard and Moen still out there. Switched up the forwards here. Dotson, Vieira, and Evans. Then shot. Kind of an awkward one towards their goalie. Didn't go in. Emerson Haggard, it's in. And the Flyers, one to beat. And Soren expertly disrupts that play and prevents the Flyers from being able to get a shot off here. But we have to be careful. They've got their guys somewhat deep on us. Now we kind of fumbling with the puck. Haggard chips it out of the zone. Chipped back in the zone by the Flyers, who are going to try to change some legs here, but no pressure coming up. Plenty of time to stop and look. Pass up right side board to Evans. Advances it to Vieira, but it was intercepted by a Flyers player. Chips it back into the zone, caught by Haggard. Goes left side, hits Eli Dotson on the left side. Chips it into the offensive zone. It gives some pressure here. We might get a takeaway behind the net. The right side corner here. Emerson Haggard wide open. Shot towards the net. And it's in. Score. Warriors 7. Flyers 1. From the Fort Ice Center in Antioch, Tennessee, in the Nashville area. Flyers win the draw. Vieira has it, kind of back behind his own goal line there. Brings it up through center. Broken up by the Flyers, who keep it in our zone. Vieira chips it out. That's got some heat to it. Referee waves off icing. So it'll be a foot race to get down there and try to get it away. Vieira pinches off the boards here, but it squirts out to middle ice where it's advanced by a Flyers player. Kind of angling here towards the near boards. There were two Warriors there, Dotson and Evans, who kind of choked that route off. Vieira here, again, dangles up into the slot and gets sort of a awkward shot up that kind of bounces over the net here. But Vieira is still fighting behind the net. Puck comes out to the left side, squirts out to the middle of the high slot. Dotson slides it through. Is not able to be redirected by any players here. Puck comes up left boards here. Tommy McGrady spits it back towards the net here. All right, the Flyers trying to mount a breakout here. Kind of a stretch pass from the left boards to the center of the ice. They've got the pressure on down here. We've got to be careful. Puck taken away by Bezorkor, advanced up to Vieira, who gains the offensive zone. Gets a little room and scores.
Bryce Vieira makes it 8-1.
Bezorkor, Stewart, and Webster on the forward line. Clark Moen on defense. Having some difficulty getting out of their zone now. Puck is possessed by a Flyers player who gets jammed up in the neutral zone, so the puck comes out, goes back out. This will be icing. 7 minutes, 20 seconds left to go in the third period. Your Warriors are up 7-1 over the Flyers. Offensive zone faceoff coming to the left side of their goalie on our right side. Faceoff one. However, it's intercepted. We've got the Flyers now streaking through the neutral zone. They gain possession of our zone. Gets around Soren Moen there, but gets jammed up back into the corner. Puck squirts out almost all the way back to the neutral zone. Keeler, number 71, the puck carrier for the Flyers. All right. We kind of collapsed around our net here. If you notice, their defense are wide open. They're not able to take advantage of that. But it's those high danger where our forwards still have this tendency to collapse around the net, which means all of a sudden, which creates a lot of open ice for the other team to maneuver and get shots off. Luckily, it didn't pan out for the Flyers that time. But as these kids develop, they're only 10U. They'll kind of get more of a feel for better positioning. But great job by the Warriors here. Up through neutral zone, Jack Webster streaking up the left side. Looks like he loses an edge. No, the referee's going to call a tripping penalty. I couldn't tell from my perspective if he just lost his footing or if there was contact by the other player. The referee, who's obviously a lot closer to the play than I am, saw there was contact that justified a tripping penalty. So the Warriors go on a power play. We'll have 5-on-4 hockey for the next minute, 30 seconds. Five minutes, 10 seconds left. 5:10 left here in the third period. Face off back to Haggard. Crosses over, and it's intercepted by a Flyers player. Solid shot, bounces off the top crossbar and over the net. No goal. Play continues. Paxton Ober centers it. Trickles up, bounces up to Kono, who can't corral it in. Schroeder tries to get some body position there and falls over, gets right back up. Puck out to the neutral zone. Keeler, number 71 White, simply flips it back through the neutral zone. And they finally chip it back in. No icing. Paxton Ober goes back to get it behind our net, back to the corner. Advances it up the board. Sebastian Kono, who's got Bednarchik and Schroeder. They've got to be careful. All right. And Bednarchik gets a shot off, but that goes wide over the right corner of the net. High and wide. All right, the Flyers trying to mount some kind of a breakout here, unable to do so. So they simply flip it out. Oh no! Flyers player scoops it up, but just can't get clear. Puck back to the neutral zone. Flipped ahead by Bednarchik. There's a foot race. Flyers have it up their right boards. Choked off by Big Tommy McGrady there. Elvis Schroeder kind of fighting his stick. Boy, it looks like that kid there, number 8 or 9, I can't see through the glare. Number 9, White, been kind of picking on Elvis the whole game. But showing some maturity and poise here by not retaliating, because 9 out of 10 times, it's the kid who retaliates who gets the penalty, even if the initial contact was dirty from the first player. Puck towards the net. Behind the net, Kono controls. Looking for someone in a navy blue jersey. Puck trapped deep in their corner. Puck squirts all the way up along the board. No ice, no ice. Vieira breaks off that centering attempt. Mullen in the mix. Puck back behind our own net. Tommy McGrady's going to go get it. Soren gives a little shoulder bump to white number 14. Sends a message that this isn't a place that we need to be standing around in. And he's not. Around the net, back behind the Soren. Boy, the ice looks kind of weird back there. Again, Soren and number 14 White. It's going to make it hard for number 14 White to score, but that's exactly what happens. 7-2, minute 27 left, clock's running. Probably not going to affect the outcome, but kind of a fine line between focusing your attention on the guy you're covering and focusing your attention on the play. Probably how a cornerback needs to devote his attention to the wide receiver or the quarterback. That time doesn't end in our favor. Puck all the way back behind our own net. Elliot Clark goes to get it. They're going to try a wraparound here. Oh boy. Puck does not go in, but it squirts back out to the high slot. Chipped ahead by the Flyers, but not amounts to anything. Stretch pass out to Bryce Vieira, streaking up the left boards all the way up to the corner. He's got Evans, was in the middle there. Puck's behind the net, 34 seconds left. Emerson Haggard aggressively pinches off that puck. Shot. No, well, there's kind of a boarding, but not called by the officials. Maybe they sensed there's only 15 seconds left to this. And the Flyers try to make a breakout happen, but they're scrambling. No sense of direction here on behalf of the Team White. Puck still loose right in front of the net. There's about 5 guys that are all standing around, flopping around, and that's it. 8-2. Your Warriors defeat the Flyers by a score of 8-2. All right, well, thank you all for joining us this afternoon. Another great Warriors win. And we will see you all tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central, 6 Mountain, 8 a.m. Eastern. We're slated to be playing at the Bridgestone Arena, which is the actual home rink of the Nashville Predators of the National Hockey League. Obviously no games going on there in the NHL. They're on a pause for the Olympics. There's a lot of NHL players over in Italy right now playing for their respective teams. So the NHL is on a pause, which leaves the Bridgestone Center open for us. Have a great night, stay safe, and we'll see everyone tomorrow.